Hi, this is Shane with Healthcare Managers Playbook, and we're going to talk about the third installment of that 12-part series about things I wish I knew more about before I was a director for the first time. Today's installment's really going to focus on the urge to resist feeling like you need to prove yourself right. And as a new leader, as a new manager, we can feel that feeling of being right can equate to validity for being in this job. We equate strong leadership with good leadership. And I'll just encourage you to, let's just kind of take a step back and look at that from a few different angles. First angle is arguing. As if you're in a point of conflict or you're having a disagreement, continuing to argue seldomly leads you to a good spot. You may win the argument, but it's going to do more damage than really what it is good. And in arguing, it really takes you away from that mission of your department, which is to take really good care of patients. If I'm spending my effort and energy engaged in an argument, then I am not engaged in creating a great place for people to come and get better. So instead of arguing, sometimes it's better just to take a step back. So if you need a tool or a filler word to try to disengage from an argument, or if somebody says something pointed to you, instead of responding, just respond with something like, wow, that's interesting, or there you go. Either one of those, it's kind of neutral. It's not trying to escalate an argument. But then in addition to that, say, hey, let's come back tomorrow and maybe address this on a different day. So give some space, give some neutral acknowledgement that you've heard what is said without trying to continue to exacerbate or elevate an argument. And I can think of an early example. In my case, I had a therapist that had a very strong personality. He was a high D temperament. And he popped in and said, hey, Shane, I don't think you know what you're doing. And this, again, mind you, is my second week in the job, so it's probably absolutely right. I didn't know what I was doing at that point. But instead of responding, this is how I wish I would have responded, was, wow, that's pretty straight to the point. And I am, just so you know, I am taking a lot of notes. I am watching and observing and seeing how things are done right now. And invariably, I'm probably missing something, and you're seeing that, and I'm not. So if you share with me why you feel like the way you feel, then that would probably help me get on my feet quicker and faster. But I didn't say that. Instead, I got my feelings hurt and said that wasn't very nice, and we kind of had a couple of exchanges back and forth, and both of us fortunately saw that it wasn't going to a good spot, and we disengaged and said, let's give this some time and some space. But learn from my mistake. Don't, at that moment, I felt like I needed to prove myself right to him that I did know what I was doing, even though I didn't, but I still felt like I needed to. So learn from my mistake and don't feel the need, even if you're engaged or even if you're provoked, to go ahead and take that bait. It could also feel like, and this might not be new because your bosses and everybody's going to have grace at the beginning, but as you get some pointed remarks back to you from somebody that's your boss or your boss's boss or higher up the chain, don't always feel like you have to prove yourself right to them either. Learn from what they're saying. Realize that they're busy, so they're probably going to be very direct with you as well. But instead of getting your feelings hurt, just keep an open mind and stay calm and learn from their comments or the remarks. Even if you don't feel like they're fully justified, you don't have to engage and try to prove your rightness in that situation. It's just gonna, most of the time, make things worse. Instead, let your behavior and your performance speak for you. Let those be your actions. And over time, with that consistency, you will have shown the rightness in the way that you're managing and running that department. And that's very much the same strategy with your team as well. Over time, when you make decisions that are thoughtful and you take information in and you are not getting excited and not getting exacerbated and not getting irritated, your team's going to take those cues from you as well. And you're going to continue to keep that focus in your department on patient care because they're not getting sidetracked with drama in a lot of these other areas. So that's really kind of leadership in a nutshell. Leadership is trying to keep your team focused on the mission. The mission is to take really good care of patients. And if you're taking really good care of patients, over time, those actions will do your talking for you, and you're going to come out on the right side of that rightness without having to actually say anything. It's just going to be based on what you do. And that's the best way. Let your actions speak for you. Hopefully this helps you. I wished I would have known it earlier on. Proving yourself right does not equate to being an effective leader. It is okay to take a mulligan. Even if sometimes you feel like you're right, it's not worth pushing and pushing and pushing to try to prove that to anybody. Instead, let your actions over a period of time do the talking for you. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you again in future episodes here on the Healthcare Manager's Playbook. Thank you.